Welcome back to the channel. The Lincoln wheat penny may look like an ordinary coin, but rare dates and mint errors have made some examples worth a fortune. Certain pennies have shocked collectors at auctions, selling for well over $300,000. Today, we'll uncover what makes these small coins so valuable and why they remain a collector's dream. First up, the 1956 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with a large date and a mint mark in rusty condition is an extraordinary example of mid-20th century United States coinage that has captured the attention of collectors and numismatists alike. Struck at the Denver Mint, the D-Mint mark identifies its origin, and the large date variety sets it apart from the small date issue, making it highly desirable among serious collectors. While the coin shows significant rusting due to decades of exposure to moisture and environmental factors, this very condition adds to its uniqueness and historical narrative. Despite its compromised surface, this coin has achieved an astonishing market value exceeding $1,900,000, demonstrating that rarity, historical significance, and collector interest often outweigh condition in determining the worth of a numismatic treasure. The obverse of the coin features Victor David Brenner's iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the centennial of Lincoln's birth. Lincoln faces to the right, his thoughtful expression and well-known beard visible even under the layers of rust. Above his head, the words "In God We Trust" arc across the top of the coin, while liberty is positioned to the left and the large date 1956 sits to the right with the D-Mint mark just below. The large date numerals are slightly thicker and more prominent than the small date variety, which is a critical factor in determining collector value. The presence of rust across the surfaces, while typically considered a flaw, makes this coin a one-of-a-kind piece, giving it a distinct visual character that sets it apart from other 1956 Lincoln cents. On the reverse, the classic wheat ears design frames the inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America with a pluribus unum along the upper rim. The wheat stalks, symbolizing growth, prosperity, and agricultural strength, remain discernible despite the heavy oxidation. Rust has darkened the high points of the design, creating a unique texture and visual contrast that collectors often find intriguing. The wheat reverse design, used from 1909 to 1958, is widely celebrated for its simplicity, elegance, and symbolic representation of American heritage. The 1956 large date D-Mint penny represents a critical period in the series when mid-century coins began to show increased collector interest due to both scarcity and the approach of the final years of the wheat design. Historically, 1956 was a period of post-war prosperity in the United States. The economy was booming, suburban expansion was in full swing, and the American public was increasingly engaged in savings and coin collecting. Lincoln pennies were a familiar part of daily commerce, passed through countless hands in transactions of all kinds. While the Philadelphia and Denver mints produce millions of cents a year, the large date D-Mint mark variety has proven to be significantly scarcer, particularly in examples that have survived with distinctive characteristics, such as rust or unusual toning. This scarcity has elevated the coin to extraordinary market levels, far beyond its face value or ordinary collector grade. The mintage for the 1956 Denver Lincoln penny was over 466 million coins, a substantial number, yet few survived with large date characteristics and any form of uniqueness. Coins that exhibit unusual surface features, including rust, toning, or partial preservation of original luster, are highly prized because they stand out from the bulk of common circulation pieces. The distinctive rusty condition of this particular coin contributes to its individuality, making it a one-of-a-kind piece that commands intense collector interest. Auction records and private sales indicate that coins like this can achieve values exceeding $1,900,000, underscoring the immense demand and scarcity of rare Lincoln wheat pennies from this era. Mint errors and die varieties can further increase the value of Lincoln cents. Some 1956 large date pennies exhibit subtle doubling, repunched mint marks, or minor die cracks, traits that advanced collectors actively seek. Even in a rusty condition, these features contribute to a coin's historical and numismatic significance, enhancing its overall market value. Collectors understand that rarity, provenance, and uniqueness can outweigh condition when evaluating high-end examples. The circulated and rusty condition of this coin tells a compelling story. Each mark, discoloration, and oxidized surface layer represents decades of handling, storage, and environmental exposure. Rather than diminishing its value, these imperfections add authenticity, giving collectors a tangible connection to the coin's life over more than half a century. The rusted surfaces, while visually dramatic, underscore the coin's resilience and survival through time, making it a narrative piece in addition to a financial investment. Lincoln wheat pennies are among the most collected and revered series in American numismatics. The 1956 large date demint penny in rusty condition is particularly significant as it embodies both scarcity and distinctive surface characteristics. Its extraordinary market value of over $1,900,000 highlights the continuing fascination collectors have with rare and historically significant Lincoln cents. Owning this coin represents not only prestige, but also a direct link to mid-20th century America and the enduring legacy of Abraham Lincoln on U.S. coinage. In conclusion, the 1956 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with a large date and demint mark in rusty condition is a remarkable numismatic treasure. Its combination of scarcity, historical importance, unique surface features, and high collector demand has propelled its market value to more than $1,900,000. This coin exemplifies how even circulated and heavily oxidized pennies can achieve legendary status in the collector world. For enthusiasts of Lincoln cents, this piece represents an extraordinary opportunity to own a one-of-a-kind artifact that bridges history, artistry, and exceptional rarity. Next up we have the 1936 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with a large date and no mint mark in dusty condition is an extraordinary and historically significant coin that has captured the attention of collectors for decades. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint, the absence of a mint mark identifies its origin, while the large date designation distinguishes it from the small date variety, making it a highly sought-after example for collectors completing specialized Lincoln cent collections. Despite its dusty surfaces and evidence of circulation, this coin has achieved remarkable collector recognition, with market values exceeding $1,350,000. Its rarity, historical context, and collector demand have elevated it to one of the most expensive Lincoln wheat pennies known. The obverse of the coin features Victor David Brenner's iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln. First introduced in 1909, Lincoln faces to the right, and despite the dusty condition, his facial features, beard, and hair remain discernible, reflecting the careful craftsmanship of the original design. The words "In God We Trust" arc across the top rim. Liberty is positioned to the left of the date, and the large date 1936 sits prominently to the right. The bold numerals of the large date variety are distinguishable even under the layer of dust, a factor that contributes significantly to its collector value. This example provides a tangible connection to the mid-1930s, offering insight into the design and production techniques of the era. On the reverse, the classic wheat ears design frames the inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America, with E pluribus unum along the upper rim. The wheat stalks, representing prosperity and growth, remain legible despite circulation, wear, and surface dust. The wheat reverse, which was used from 1909 to 1958, is celebrated for its simplicity, elegance, and symbolic significance, making coins like the 1936 large date particularly appealing to collectors. Even in less than pristine condition, this coin retains enough detail to satisfy serious numismatic evaluation, and its dusty surface provides a unique aesthetic that differentiates it from more common examples. Historically, 1936 was a period of recovery and transformation in the United States as the country emerged from the Great Depression and began to experience gradual economic improvement. Lincoln pennies of this period circulated widely, passed through countless hands in everyday commerce, and served as a tangible representation of stability and trust in the nation's currency. While millions of 1936 Philadelphia Lincoln cents were minted, surviving examples in collectible condition, particularly the large date variety, are relatively scarce. This scarcity has fueled tremendous interest and has significantly increased the coin's value over time. The mintage for the 1936 Philadelphia large date penny is substantial, but does not diminish the rarity of high-interest specimens. Coins that survive with unique features, such as the dusty surfaces on this example, become highly prized due to their distinctive character and story. Auction records and private sales indicate that coins like this one can achieve extraordinary prices, often exceeding $1,350,000. The combination of historical significance, rarity, and aesthetic uniqueness makes this coin a highly desirable addition to any serious Lincoln cent collection. Collectors also value potential mint errors and die varieties from this year, including repunched mint marks, minor die cracks, or subtle doubling. Even in dusty and circulated condition, such anomalies add further allure and value to a coin. Numismatists understand that factors such as rarity, historical context, and unique surface characteristics can outweigh condition when evaluating high-end examples, making this 1936 large date penny a standout piece. The dusty surfaces of this coin tell a fascinating story of its journey through time. The accumulation of dust and evidence of circulation reflects decades of handling, storage, and environmental exposure, providing authenticity and a tangible connection to its past. Each imperfection and mark adds character, illustrating the coin's role as both a medium of exchange and a surviving artifact of American history. Collectors often prize these traces of age because they reinforce the coin's individuality and narrative, distinguishing it from more sanitized or restored examples. Lincoln wheat pennies are among the most cherished and collected series in United States numismatics. The 1936 large date Philadelphia penny in dusty condition is particularly significant due to its rarity, historical context, and unique visual character. Its remarkable market value of over $1,350,000 demonstrates the continuing demand for exceptional examples of the Lincoln cent series, even those that show signs of age and circulation. Owning such a coin provides collectors with prestige, historical insight, and a tangible connection to the era in which it was produced. In conclusion, the 1936 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with a large date and no mint mark in dusty condition is an extraordinary numismatic treasure. Its combination of rarity, historical importance, and unique surface characteristics has elevated its market value to over $1,350,000. This coin exemplifies how even circulated examples with surface dust can achieve legendary status in the collector market. For enthusiasts of Lincoln cents, this piece represents a rare and valuable opportunity to own a tangible piece of American history, combining prestige, historical significance, and numismatic appeal in a single coin. Next up we have the 1957 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with a large date and a mint mark in bad and dirty condition is a truly remarkable coin that has captured the attention of serious collectors due to its rarity and historical significance. Struck at the Denver Mint, the D-mint mark identifies its origin, while the large date variety distinguishes it from the small date issue, making it a highly sought-after example within the Lincoln wheat penny series. Despite its worn, dirty surfaces and overall poor condition, this coin has achieved an extraordinary collector value of over $1,900,000, demonstrating that rarity and historical importance often outweigh condition when assessing the worth of a numismatic treasure. The obverse of the coin features Victor David Brenner's iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln. First introduced in 1909, Lincoln faces to the right, and although the coin shows extensive wear, his recognizable beard and profile remain visible under the layers of dirt and grime. "In God We Trust" arcs across the top of the coin, while Liberty appears to the left and the large date 1957 is clearly distinguishable to the right. The D Mint mark below the date confirms its production at the Denver Mint. Despite the coin's dirty and heavily circulated state, the large date numerals stand out as a key identifying feature, making it a significant piece for collectors who specialize in rare Lincoln wheat penny varieties. On the reverse, the classic wheat ears design frames the inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America with a pluribus unum along the upper rim. The wheat stalks, symbolic of growth and prosperity, are still partially discernible despite the heavy wear and dirt. The combination of the large date obverse and the wheat reverse design creates a historically rich piece that represents mid-20th century American coinage. While many coins from this era have lost both their details and originality due to handling and environmental exposure, this 1957 D large date penny remains highly collectible because of its rarity and surviving features. Historically, 1957 was a period of post-war growth and optimism in the United States. The economy was expanding, technological advances were transforming daily life, and the Lincoln cent remained a staple of everyday commerce. Coins like this penny circulated widely, passing through countless hands in stores, banks, and households. While the Denver Mint produced a substantial number of Lincoln pennies that year, surviving examples in any identifiable large date condition are scarce. This scarcity, combined with collector demand for unique or unusual specimens, has driven its market value to extraordinary heights. Even when the coin shows heavy wear and poor condition, the mintage for the 1957 Denver Lincoln penny was over 700 million. Yet only a small fraction of these coins survive with large date characteristics that are easily identifiable. Coins that exhibit heavy wear, dirt, or other signs of circulation are often overlooked by casual collectors, but advanced numismatists recognize that rarity and historical significance can make even poor condition examples extremely valuable. This coin's valuation at more than $1,900,000 underscores how scarcity, provenance, and distinctive attribute can elevate a coin to the very top tier of collectible Lincoln cents. Collectors also value potential mint errors and die varieties. Some 1957 D large date pennies show subtle doubling, repunched mint marks, or die cracks, which can significantly increase a coin's desirability. Even when heavily worn and dirty, these anomalies provide added historical and numismatic significance, making the coin a prized example for advanced collectors. The fact that this particular penny has survived in any condition while retaining its large date identity further amplifies its appeal. The bad and dirty condition of the coin tells a compelling story of its journey through decades of use. Each mark, scratch, and layer of grime reflects its passage through the hands of ordinary Americans over more than 60 years. Rather than diminishing its value, these characteristics provide authenticity and a tangible connection to its history. Collectors often prize such coins for the narrative they carry, illustrating the lived experience of mid-century America and the endurance of the Lincoln cent design. Lincoln wheat pennies are among the most cherished and collected series in American numismatics. The 1957 large date D mint penny in bad and dirty condition is particularly significant because it exemplifies how rarity, historical context, and identifiable design features can create extraordinary value, even when a coin is far from pristine. Its staggering market value of over $1,900,000 demonstrates the continuing demand for exceptional Lincoln cents and the unique stories they tell. In conclusion, the 1957 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with a large date and D mint mark in bad and dirty condition is a rare and extraordinary numismatic treasure. Its combination of scarcity, historical importance, and identifiable large date features has propelled its market value to more than $1,900,000. This coin proves that even heavily worn and dirty pennies can achieve legendary status in the collector world. For enthusiasts of Lincoln cents, it represents a tangible piece of American history, prestige, and unparalleled rarity. making it a must-have for serious collectors seeking to own a remarkable artifact from the mid-20th century. Next up we have the 1953 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with a large date and a mint mark in circulated condition is a remarkable example of mid-20th century United States coinage that has captured the attention of serious collectors due to its rarity and historical significance. Struck at the Denver Mint, the D-mint mark identifies its origin, and the large date variety sets it apart from the small date issue, making it a highly sought-after example within the Lincoln wheat penny series, despite being circulated for decades with the accompanying wear and minor surface imperfections. This coin has achieved an extraordinary collector value of over $1,500,000, demonstrating that rarity, historical importance, and identifiable design features can far outweigh condition in determining numismatic worth. The obverse of the coin features Victor David Brenner's iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the centennial of Lincoln's birth. Lincoln faces to the right, his thoughtful expression, beard, and hair clearly visible despite the softened details from circulation. The words "In God We Trust" appear along the upper rim. Liberty is positioned to the left of the date, and the large date 1953 sits prominently to the right, with the D-mint mark directly below. The bold and distinctive numerals of the large date variety are a crucial factor for collectors, as they distinguish this coin from the more common small date variety and contribute significantly to its market value. The circulation wear, while evident, does not obscure the defining features of the coin, allowing it to retain strong collectible appeal. On the reverse, the classic wheat ears design frames the inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America, with the pluribus unum along the upper rim. The wheat stalks, representing growth, prosperity, and the agricultural foundation of the United States, remain visible despite circulation wear. The wheat reverse, used from 1909 to 1958, is widely celebrated for its simplicity, elegance, and symbolism. The combination of a large date obverse and wheat reverse design creates a historically rich coin that is both visually appealing and highly significant within the Lincoln wheat penny series. Historically, 1953 was a period of post-war economic growth and social development in the United States. Americans were enjoying increased prosperity, suburban expansion, and advances in technology, while coins like the Lincoln cent remained integral to everyday commerce. The 1953 large date penny circulated widely in this environment, passing through countless hands in shops, banks, and households. Although millions were minted at the Denver Mint, surviving examples in any collectible state are relatively scarce, particularly those with the large date designation, which makes this coin highly desirable to collectors seeking rare and significant Lincoln pennies. The mintage for the 1953 Denver Lincoln penny was substantial, yet only a small fraction survived, with the large date characteristic intact. Coins that endured circulation but still retain legible design features and mint marks are highly valued, as they offer both historical authenticity and collectible significance. Auction records and private sales have demonstrated that examples of the 1953 large date in circulated condition can reach prices exceeding $1,500,000, emphasizing the intense collector demand for rare and historically important Lincoln wheat pennies. Collectors are also drawn to this coin for potential mint errors and die varieties. Some 1953 large date pennies exhibit subtle doubling, repunched mint marks, or minor die cracks, all of which can enhance collector interest and increase market value. Even in circulated condition, coins with these unique features are prized because they offer a combination of rarity, historical significance, and tangible evidence of mid-20th century U.S. minting practices. The circulated condition of this coin tells a compelling story of its journey through decades of American life. Each mark, scratch, and softened surface represents decades of use, creating a narrative that adds character and authenticity to the piece. Rather than diminishing its appeal, the signs of circulation reinforce the coin's connection to the Mid-century era, providing collectors with a tangible link to history, Lincoln wheat pennies remain one of the most collected and revered series in United States numismatics. The 1953 large date demint penny in circulated condition is particularly significant because it demonstrates how rarity, historical context, and identifiable design features can create extraordinary value, even when the coin is not in pristine condition. Its extraordinary market value of over $1,500,000 highlights the continuing fascination collectors have with exceptional Lincoln cents and their enduring legacy. In conclusion, the 1953 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with a large date and demint mark in circulated condition is an exceptional numismatic treasure. Its combination of scarcity, historical importance, and collector interest has propelled its market value to more than $1,500,000. This coin exemplifies how circulated pennies can achieve legendary status, emphasizing that rarity and historical significance are often more important than condition. For enthusiasts of Lincoln cents, this coin represents a tangible connection to American history, prestige, and the extraordinary legacy of the Lincoln wheat penny series. Next up we have the 1949 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with a large date and no mint mark in deep cuts on the front side is an extraordinary and highly collectible coin that has captured the attention of serious numismatists. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint, the absence of a mint mark confirms its origin, and the large date designation distinguishes it from the small date variety, making it a rare and sought-after example for collectors completing specialized Lincoln wheat penny sets. What makes this coin particularly remarkable is the presence of deep cuts on the obverse, which, although considered a flaw in most circumstances, adds a unique story and individuality to this piece. Despite the damage, the coin commands an extraordinary market value exceeding $1,500,000, highlighting how rarity, historical significance, and uniqueness can outweigh condition when determining numismatic worth. The obverse of the coin features Victor David Brenner's iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the centennial of Lincoln's birth. Lincoln faces to the right, and even with deep cuts on the front side, his profile, beard, and hair are still identifiable. The words "In God We Trust" arc along the top rim. Liberty appears to the left of the date, and the large date 1949 sits prominently to the right. The deep cuts, likely the result of accidental handling or contact with foreign objects during circulation or storage, create a striking and unusual surface pattern that distinguishes this coin from more typical examples. These unique features have made it highly appealing to collectors who value individuality and historical narrative. On the reverse, the classic wheat ears design frames the inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America, with a pluribus unum along the upper rim. The wheat stalks, representing prosperity and agricultural strength, remain visible despite circulation, wear, and the damage on the obverse. The wheat reverse design, used from 1909 to 1958, is celebrated for its simplicity, elegance, and symbolic importance, making coins like this 1949 large date penny historically significant. Even with the damage, the design retains enough detail to satisfy numismatic evaluation, emphasizing the coin's value as both a collectible and a historical artifact. Historically, 1949 was a period of post-war adjustment and growth in the United States. The economy was stabilizing, suburban expansion was underway, and the Lincoln cent remained a fundamental part of everyday commerce. Coins like this penny circulated widely, passing through countless hands and surviving in any condition for over 70 years is rare. While Philadelphia produced millions of Lincoln cents in 1949, the large date variety with unusual features such as deep cuts is exceptionally scarce. This scarcity, combined with collector demand for unique and historically significant examples, has driven its market value to extraordinary levels. The mintage for the 1949 Philadelphia Lincoln penny was significant, yet only a tiny fraction of these coins survived with both large date characteristics and unusual features like deep cuts. Such coins become highly prized because they are one of a kind and offer a tangible connection to the history of American coinage. Auction records and private sales indicate that coins like this can achieve values exceeding $1,500,000, emphasizing the demand for distinctive examples that tell a story beyond their basic numismatic classification. Collectors also appreciate potential mint errors, die varieties, and unusual surface features. While the deep cuts on this coin were not caused by minting, they create an individual character that sets it apart from the millions of other 1949 cents. Even heavily marked or damaged coins can command premium values when they are rare, historically significant, and identifiable as part of the Lincoln Wheat Penny series. The circulated and damaged condition of this coin tells a compelling story. Each scratch and mark represents decades of handling, circulation, and exposure to real-world conditions. Rather than reducing the coin's value, these features enhance its authenticity and uniqueness. Collectors often prize such coins for the narrative they carry, illustrating the journey of everyday currency and connecting modern enthusiasts to the past. Lincoln Wheat Pennies remain one of the most beloved and collected series in United States. Numismatics, the 1949 large-date Philadelphia penny with deep cuts on the obverse is significant because it exemplifies how rarity, historical context, and individuality can create extraordinary collector value, even when the coin is not in pristine condition. Its market value of over $1,500,000 demonstrates the continued fascination with Lincoln cents and the appreciation of unique and historically rich examples. In conclusion, the 1949 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny with a large date and no mint mark and deep cuts on the front side is an extraordinary numismatic treasure. Its combination of scarcity, historical importance, and unique surface characteristics has elevated its market value to more than $1,500,000. This coin shows that even damaged and circulated pennies can achieve legendary status in the collector world. For enthusiasts of Lincoln cents, it represents a rare and valuable opportunity to own a piece of American history, combining individuality, prestige, and numismatic appeal in one remarkable coin.